Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So let's get into a little collective message. Also, just to give you guys that reminder, I will be doing some more zodiacs tonight, but then for a couple days into next week, I won't be doing zodiacs. I'll just be doing a couple of collective messages because I am in the process of moving. And so that's going to happen pretty much pretty heavily for about 2 days next week. So just FYI. All right. If I'm gone, I'm not really gone. It's just temporary. We have Ace of Coins and we have the Tower. Hi, guys. Great to see you. So, for this collective message, it's not zodiac specific yet, but we do bring in some strong Aries energy. This is my like Las Vegas, Marilyn Monroe, like a living a high life, like the roll of the dice can give, people tons of wins in a casino, or you can lose it all. With this Ace of Coins, though, again, there's a lot of money in this. We see it all over the place, and we also see somebody really likes pancake breakfast. It makes me think right out of the gate that somebody who's planning a big change in their life, it might be because they've actually like freed themselves up. This could be a really great change in somebody's life. It could save them a lot of money. Maybe they're cutting out things that used to like waste money. I mean, I don't think music is ever, spending money on like music and performances is ever wasted. But if somebody had been, I only say that because we have a lot of performers over here. We've got a snowboarder, like spending money to do things that we really enjoy in life. We have to say that that's wasteful, but anything in excess can be a bad idea, right? And it just feels like somebody is making better choices when it comes to like maybe they're eating at home more instead of going out spending a ton of money. Maybe they are not gambling money. Instead, they're actually spending it on quality things. It just feels like somebody's relationship with money is changing. We have a 10 of Wands and we have an 8 of Wands. Okay, they're definitely changing maybe where they live, maybe their lifestyle choice, which is interesting because their lifestyle choice seems to get more free, more enjoyable, and it seems like they'll have a better like financial situation, even though before it looks like it was very indulgent and a little bit wild. And so I'm just thinking that this character, it's like this is actually very soothing for them. I like the Tower card. I always think of it as, something that frees us. Maybe somebody was trying to keep up with a lifestyle that wasn't possible. And now they're like, you know what? I'm not going to lease that really expensive car anymore. That's crazy. Why do I need to spend all that money for that? We have a 7 of Wands upright. Hi, everybody. So great to see you all. Hornsby, I don't know why it doesn't notify it as a live. I think sometimes the notifications are a little bit wonky on YouTube. I see that sometimes, but I'm really honored you guys are here. Thanks for hanging out with me, whether it's notified or not. I'm super honored you guys are popping by. With that 7 of Wands, again, we see somebody who's like performing in front of huge crowds. 7 of Wands is how we overcome obstacles. I wonder if we had a person who was like looking for fame. Maybe they were like an icon and they're like, you know what? I actually would like to not have to keep up with a certain lifestyle in order to, how we expect rock stars to have a rock star lifestyle. There's this assumption that, if you have any amount of fame, like say this person is a musician or something, well, then you must also have expensive cars and expensive houses and expensive, whatever, $2,000 bottles of champagne. And it's like, why would that ever be sensible? No matter how much money you have, isn't it better to use it on like things of greater value? I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't understand expensive alcohol, but I don't really like alcohol. So forgive me. But just for an example, I just feel like this person, maybe they were feeling like they had to wear expensive clothes or something for the image, like to keep up the image. And I just think that this person doesn't care anymore. They're freeing themselves from this expectation that somehow they have to spend a certain amount in order to keep up some vision of themselves. Ace of Wands. I feel like somebody is living their life more authentically, more passionately, and they have like this hunger for a different quality life, and they're finally permitting themselves to pursue it. So hang on, what is this different quality of life that you want? And who are you, character? Because we don't know who they are yet. They've come across as somebody who could be famous or somebody who's, and fame can be anything. You can be famous in a small community of 200 people. Um, they are possibly masculine, and they have been a little soul sick with that King of Cups being sideways. They haven't been happy. This is a much more like tender and gentle and emotionally adept character, but I wonder if they've been pressured to like keep up with a lifestyle that doesn't even suit them. This could be somebody who's much more like quiet, much more what would suit them better is to have more like one-on-one connections, or not have to feel highly pressured to put on a persona. Three of Pentacles. I think that they're shrinking not only like their excess and their overhead for, keeping up whatever their lifestyle is, but I also feel like they're bringing some like essence of what they really want and making things much more meaningful with that Three of Pentacles. There's definitely somebody that they would maybe want to connect to. We got the Knight of Pentacles. It's in the reverse. There's a timeline jump. He's doing something different. What are you doing different? Who are you wanting to move to? Seven of Wands. Okay, so not to like be rude, but he may be like, if he had an entourage or something, he may be like letting go of the entourage and instead like blocking the things that have been vexatious, or the things that have been pressing him to like do this, keep up with that image. Like this, sometimes it's just peer pressure, right? Let's not make this huge. Let's say this is somebody who in a small little town of 3,000 people, he's been, somebody who, let's say he's a business owner, and other business owners in town, have said like, well, of course, because we're the business owners, you should live in one of the big houses in the big fancy house side of town or something. Maybe it doesn't suit him. Maybe like a certain amount of pomp isn't really for him. Maybe he'd rather live in a more quiet outskirts rural area of town instead of, in a more highly visible location. It feels like he might be changing what he's doing. We have 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, he's going for a life of more richness instead of a life of like, let everybody see me all the time. He definitely could be moving to like countryside. He may be choosing to be more in, like relationships. He may get a dog. He may also be focused more on relationships and withdrawing. I don't know, only because of this Marilyn Monroe. This could be for masculine or feminine, but she was obviously iconic, right? And she was very much a sex symbol. And I'm wondering, because we also saw that rock star, maybe this is somebody who was like, oh my God, if I'm going to be famous or in the public eye, then I also have to keep up this perfection, skin and hair and clothing and this whole look. And maybe it's like, that feels so false to me to have to put on a look, because it's not really my look. Really, I would like to spend time with my dog. I'd like to be in a relationship. I'd like to, wear my glasses so I can see better. I'd like to just do what's real for me and just be me. I almost think he is somebody more famous is stepping away from the public eye, even if it's just famous in town. Who do you want for your 10 of Pentacles? Because we can see what will be a richer life for him is like more of like true companionship is what it looks like. We got the Eight of Pentacles. Somebody that, and we have a feminine showing up on that Eight of Pentacles. So there could be an earth sign on his mind. Remember, he's come across as possibly a water sign. Does not have to be. I mean, when we look at the major arcana, I could have gone with some of the major arcana, but honestly, I feel like this is more about his process. This is major life change for him. So I don't feel like the major arcana represents him. I feel more like the energy aspect of what he's changing in his life represents him. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. Six of Swords, and then the Five of Cups in the reverse. I'm going to say this. If he used to have way more people that he had to answer to because business was first, image was first, that he's doing a complete 180. It's like, I would much rather have somebody, and I keep getting like I just want somebody that won't ever leave me and I won't ever leave them. That he's in a place in his life, in his soul, in his mindset where loyalty is everything. Being in a relationship, who the hell cares what the rest of the world thinks of me? Who the hell cares if I'm fat, if I'm skinny, if I'm, whatever I'm wearing? I don't care about an image. I don't care who looks at me and judges me, as long as my person wants to be with me. That I want somebody who wants to be with me and I want to be with them. I will never leave my person. Like, that's where he's at. I'm never going to make my person cry. I don't want to have a missed opportunity at love. He seems to be very clear on what kind of a partnership he wants to have. But I also wonder if there's somebody already in his mind that he knows is like very, very, very loyal. 9 of Wands, 8 of Cups. Okay, so this could be a problem. If the person he really wants to be with is somebody who, I mean, we did see her as a mermaid. And although he's like, I will never leave her, I don't ever want to hurt her. Why did we even have to bring up the 5 of Cups, right? This is somebody really special, somebody who's been left before, somebody who's a one in a billion, one of a kind. And this kind of says either there's just somebody that he's holds in his heart and he knows that she's somebody who's pretty like good at just facing life alone and he does not want her to be alone, or she is somebody that he already had some kind of, like, I don't know if he wasn't ready to be by her side at one point in time. Let me just see. Do these two have history? Hanged Man. If not actual history, then let's just say he's known of her but never approached her, always delayed approaching her. Oh, no. We got Knight of Wands. We got Knight of Swords. This does feel like those knights are action takers. We have some passion. We have fast-moving energy. But then either this is just like, I've always delayed moving toward her because I didn't want it to be just, a hit it and quit it kind of thing, or we did this once upon a time and I've delayed coming back to her. With that 8 of Cups again, both times with the feminine here, both times it looks like, did you not lock it down with her when you could have, because you were still about the image or something? King of Swords in the reverse. I'm going to say that's what it was. Yikes. That's not great at all. That is not great at all. Okay. Here we go. Temperance. With the Temperance, I don't know. This just feels so, they should have maybe come to a place of peace a long time ago, but didn't. Just didn't or couldn't. And, maybe it just wasn't the right time. We have Death card. I don't know that he was this person until now. King of Swords in the reverse is somebody who might have been clamoring for, the whatever they thought they had to have, the illusion, maybe they had no peace because it was all about, this is distinctly different energy, right? From somebody who has no peace, they're all about, it's not making logical decisions. It sometimes can be, King of Swords in the reverse is like, I demand to get what I feel should be mine. They could have gotten embroiled in like the lust for just being famous, or even if it's only, sometimes people think fame is like, even in a very, very small pond, I want to be the big fish. And if that's what he was clamoring for, and it was just one track mind, I deserve to be the best. So ego was the only thing he was serving. He wasn't serving his heart. He was only serving his ego. If that's what this was, then he really had no peace. And she may have represented somebody in great peace, somebody who didn't have the need for, fighting with, for, I'll say really egos, when maybe in this storyline anyway, is when somebody is fighting with themselves to feel important. And she didn't seem to need to fight with herself to feel important. It's just interesting because that is probably why, now that he's shifted so much with this Death card, that's probably why we see such a change in this story for him. That is probably what has shifted. He's no longer fighting with himself to feel important. So the person that he wants is somebody who walked away from him. We saw it twice, 8 of Cups twice, both times with the feminine on it. So I would just say that it's probably what happened in the past was what was supposed to happen. Wild card, though, comes up. At this point, with these changes that he seems to be making, this no longer seeking money, fame, fortune. And this, remember, this could have been a masculine just as well as a feminine. This could have been same-sex couple. It's just everything has shifted. And I don't feel like this is somebody who's just like, you know what, I'm just tired of the rat race now. So now let me go ahead. And even though I blew off, a chance for love, now I want him back. It doesn't feel like this is a new version of them being like selfish or something. It doesn't feel like that, but it does say there's nothing to guarantee that this newfound quest for peace and comfort and harmony is necessarily going to work. But you notice how the wild card has that dog on it again. It's the loyalty. And now here we go again with that 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups, by the way, also has that little Cocker Spaniel on it. 5 of Cups in the reverse, which is what we had for her when he saw her as a mermaid, but he's saying, I will never leave her side. She may not care if he says, I'm never going to leave your side. Let's go ahead and get this deck. Where is she at? I mean, she walked away twice, but we have Ace of Cups, we have 9 of Cups. Wherever she is, she loves her life. Wherever she is, she seems very, very content. Maybe she likes where she's at. We saw her before with the Temperance card. She certainly could be a Sagittarius, but we saw her as somebody who was pretty much like, I don't feel a discomfort or a need to prove myself. I'm pretty much loving my life every day. 3 of Swords sideways. It doesn't mean, though, that she didn't have any sadness. With that 8 of Cups twice, and especially with this one where we see her looking back, you can see there's a little like trepidation. There's a look in her face that says, that's too bad. So I got to walk away from this person because they certainly aren't making a romance important. They're pretty much just making their ego important. Okay, so I got to let them go. So it did sting, but it didn't impede her life at all. She may be in a very happy 10 of Cups right now. She may be somebody where if she does think about them, it's like, oh yeah, that was sad, but you know what? I've moved on. 6 of Wands, 2 of Wands. No, I think she believes she'll meet a 10 of Cups. She came out first as the 9 of Cups, so somebody who is single, but believes fully that she will have a wonderful 10 of Cups and is pretty like empowered and feels like she's currently making decisions that are going to bring in that outcome for herself. She feels very empowered, feels like she makes her own decisions in life and trusts her own decisions. Again, 8 of Pentacles. She is working on like building her empire and is like, I think she's a very like visual manifester. She may literally have like a vision board. We see all those pictures up on her wall. She may be literally visualizing what she's going to have. 3 of Cups, and she is actively in the dating scene. She maybe hasn't met the person yet, but I will say this, has never been a better time for them to perhaps reintroduce themselves into her world. But on the other hand, I don't know that this is necessarily going to work out. But we certainly see him wanting to come in and give an element of loyalty. And like the most important thing now to him is long-term relationship and commitment and wanting to be home. I think that's a really big component. If he traveled around a lot before, he wants to be home at this point. He's maybe at a different age bracket in his life, but he's also in a different like energy flow in his life right now. All right, I'm going to leave this one here. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Really good to see you all. Travis, Arez, Patricia Bucator, Des, hi honey, Black Butterfly 25, hey babe, hi MJ Gutierrez. Oh, thank you, love. We'll probably keep this up for several more days just because next week I'm going to be moving, so I probably won't get a chance to shift things over until maybe the end of the week after the move is done. But hi, Natalie. I'm glad you like it. Michelle, Erica, thank you guys. Elisa Manuel, excuse me. Elisa Muel Ramirez, forgive me for botching your name, honey. Hi, Lalu and Hornsby, thanks again. Sammy, Librarian, hi. Oh, thank you, love. Victoria Rose Noir, Lyle Garand. Is that right? Lyle? Thank you, hon. Wholesome woman. So great to catch you. Calm Sea. Thank you, guys. Oh, Natalie, you did get the live notification. Okay, awesome. Aries. Hey, babe. Thank you so much, you guys. Fallen Raven, you're such a doll. Dancing Moon. Hi, honey. You guys are so wonderful. La Unique. Nope. Emma Lisa. Hi, sweetheart. Happy Sunday. All right, you guys. Know Thyself Oracles with Linda J. Hi, sweetheart. So wonderful to see you. Queen B82. Hey, hey. G Long, thank you for being here, honey. Living Water. Hi. I love that wholesome woman. White Light Shedding. I love your name. Thanks for being here. I know the night owls, it's a little bit early, at least where I am. It's not quite 8 p.m., but you're right. The night is coming on. The night owls are awakening. Lyle, it's my pleasure. Thanks again, Travis Rhodes. All right, you guys, I will see you. I'll be doing several zodiacs tonight as well. We'll do as many as I can, and we will still go live on Tarot Dog probably at 10 p.m. tonight. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much. Dancing Moon, we love you too, sweetheart. Thank you so much for your amazing energy. You're so awesome. All right, you guys, I'll see you again quickly. Bye for right now.